Hello, how's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Welcome. 3 minutes late. First time for everything. Well, not the first time, but in general. On occasion, I tend to be late. Usually never late. Usually, to be honest, quite early compared to the time I should go live. But here we are. Today, we have some weirdly enough jam-packed schedule regarding Arsenal, regarding everything that's happening around Arsenal, because out of nowhere, it feels like Arsenal are signing everyone. Genuinely, feels like Arsenal are signing everyone. We're gonna talk about Zubimendi, of course, because that, it looks like, could actually happen. That is the big one. That actually could happen. Zubimendi actually is potentially coming to Arsenal. To add on top of that, there are some news from Portugal about Gyokeres that are coming regarding Arsenal, of course, as well. And Arsenal have been linked with about what it feels like, again, 55,000 players. And it looks like we could sign about 55,000 players, which obviously is not uncharacteristic if you're an Arsenal fan, because let's be real, when Arsenal are linked with someone, it's hella peakums. Let's just put it that way. Hella peakums. But we're gonna talk about all that. We're gonna talk about Liverpool, obviously, because tomorrow, obviously, Arsenal are playing Liverpool. We have to give guard of honor to them and all this stuff, so that's gonna be, well, fun. But it is what it is, I guess. At the end of the day, congrats Liverpool for winning the league. But besides that, we'll see where we land. We have genuinely jam-packed schedule for today. So smash the like button, subscribe, and all that good stuff. Leave your thoughts down in the live chat below so we can tackle them, discuss them, do that, all the good stuff. And I think without further ado, we're gonna get straight into it. We're gonna talk about first things first, about transfers, and then we're gonna talk about, of course, the Liverpool game. Big up, Rosie. Make sure you're smashing the like button and sub. Big up. By the way, she has a cooking channel, if I'm not mistaken it was. And go subscribe to her as well. She's cooking. If you're feeling a bit peckish, go subscribe. Now get Douglas Luiz. I totally get that. We have been signing Douglas Luiz for 4 years now. No, 3.5 years. 4 years pretty much we have been signing Douglas Luiz. From 35 million at Aston Villa to I don't know what it is right now. But yeah, big up Bojo. Big up, hope you're doing well today. Hope you're doing fantastically well today. And as I said, today we are kicking things off with transfers. First things first, some random bits and bobs, then we're gonna dive into the real stuff. Apparently Arsenal have identified Brian Buemo, Jamie Gittins and Lookman as potential left-wing targets, which is quite nice, I'm not gonna lie, because that left-wing spot is a mess for Arsenal. Let's just put it that way and say it as it is. Now, getting into more relevant stuff, we talked about this in the previous stream, so we won't talk about that. This is an interesting one. We're gonna talk about definitely this one. Apparently, Arsenal are prepared, according to Mirror Football, to sell Gabriel Martinelli. We are prepared to do that, allegedly this summer, as a part of major overhaul of Mikel Arteta's squad. I've been quite adamant about this, and I'm not sure whether people agree with me on this or not, but of all the players Arsenal have, at least in the attacking front, of the big players, let's just put it that way. Not the attacking front, let's just put it that way in general at Arsenal, of the big players, right? In my opinion, in Arteta's eyes, Martinelli is the most expendable one, because he's not selling Odegaard, Saka, Saliba, Rice, Gabriel, players like that. So basically, there is only, I would argue, Gabriel Martinelli, and that kind of stands to a point, stands to a reason, and it looks like it could actually happen. Obviously, currently, there are no links to anyone as of yet, but I cannot figure this camera out. It's really pissing me off. Now it's a bit too low. What the hell is happening? Very good start to the stream. Okay, this looks better. Obviously, there's no proper links in general to going anywhere, but apparently he has been linked with Move Away, so we'll see how that pans out. Nathan says Leao links just going downwards. Yes, 100%. We are linked with Leao. We're gonna talk about it in a second, but I'm not the biggest fan. According to TBR Football, Arsenal, Liverpool and City are interested in Rodrigo. Imagine we signed Rodrigo. Imagine Zubimendi, Gyokeres and Rodrigo. Imagine the scenes. Imagine the Arsenal attack and in general the team. That actually would get a bit excited, I'm not gonna lie. That actually would be quite exciting. Big up Chris. Hope you're doing well. Big up Socials. Hope you're having fantastic day today. Of course, we cannot live without getting mocked by everyone, so we tried FC. But it is what it is. A parade for Arsenal, we tried to see. It is what it is. But here we go. Here are some serious talks. I'm going to talk about it right now. I'm not interested in Rodrigo. Interesting, you don't want Rodrigo, because Rodrigo by default is a left winger, not a right winger. He's being played out of position at Real Madrid. Real Madrid, technically, in my eyes, have 3 left wingers up top, because Rodrigo is a left winger. Mbappe, for me, is the best at left wing, and of course, Vini is a left winger, so go figure. Let's just put it that way. But yeah, David Ornstein, Arsenal's winger targets. The interest in Nico Williams is well documented. I've also previously mentioned that they like Anthony Gordon, which would be quite interesting if we could get Anthony Gordon, because he would be genuinely expensive, given that it's Prem tax, English tax, plus Newcastle in a very well position. They're not in such a position they need to sell one of their big guys as of yet, at least. I saw Rodrigo rumors, but I don't have any information on that at the moment, and there will be more options. More options, rah! I'm not sure we should expect a quick resolution on this position. Arsenal have been keen to add a wide attacker for what it feels like years. It's not feels like years, it's been about 3-4 years, because we have tried to replace Martinelli, well, Arteta has, with Mudryk, now with Nico Williams for the last 2 windows, and everything, so it's not a coincidence, let's just put it that way. I think it would require departure, and also more immediate priority seems to be a striker, which is quite interesting, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Gordon, it's a quite interesting one. We have been linked with Gordon on and off, on a very mild basis, let's just put it that way, for quite some time. And it's not a surprise, I'm not gonna lie, it's not a surprise. The question is, if we got Gordon, how that would pan out for Arsenal? That makes sense. Everyone else is trying to win the league, so how is trying is a joke when everyone else will be in their same position? Yeah, that's the weird part. So trying to win, get buried is a joke now. Why place? We are linked with everyone. Yeah, Gordon is meaty for you, but we are linked with everyone. There were links, insane amount of links before Andrea Berta came in, when Edu was here, and there are insane amount of links also right now when Andrea Berta is here. It's predominantly the same links as it were before Andrea Berta was here, let's be real, when Edu was here. At the same time, there are new names, which is quite nice to see. Interesting part personally for me is the fact that there are not too many La Liga links and not too many Serie A links, which kind of would make a reason that because Berta spent 12 years in La Liga under Simeone, and he is Italian, so he would know the Serie A market. And we mostly are linked with English Prem or Bundesliga players, predominantly. Well, when I mean predominantly, well, to be honest, the Kitike and Bino Gittens. At the same time, it kind of stands to a point, because to some weird reason, I've been in this position myself, saying that we need to sign Prem-proven players. We are not in a position where we can sign someone from Bundesliga, League 1, Serie A, and say, well, give him a couple of years, maybe he will turn out. He needs to adjust to the league, and he needs to do this and do that to adapt to the league, to come into the play. And that, for me, is a big issue in that regard. Because, no, not a big issue. It's a weird thing now, because we are getting linked with some big players right now, and predominantly they are not from Premier League, are they? And I'm not too fussed about it. So it's kind of weird how the vision, at least for me, on this has changed over time. Only Isak, no thanks to Gordon. Gordon is for left wing, not striker. Gyokeres is for striker. We're gonna talk about him in a second. Zubimendi and Garcia are, yeah, we are mostly linked, but those two ultimately, but we are not linked with too many in that regard. Because I would expect more. I would genuinely expect more. La Liga and Serie A. That's what I mean. What I meant when I was talking about this. I expected more La Liga and Serie A links, but we are not linked as many as I thought so, at least in that regard. The more I think about Berta, the more it seems he's here for the bag. He's not here for the bag. Trust me, he's not here for the bag. You will see, arguably, in a second why. This is for all the top gooners, by the way. I saved this tweet specifically for all the top gooners who love stats, who love to suck off Arteta and Odegaard playing 95% passes backwards. Playing forward, breaking the lines with passing, plus analyzing the pitch and the situation of your teammates before the ball comes to you. Those are the most important things for Cesc Fabregas as a midfielder. To have 95% pass accuracy and not be able to influence the game doesn't mean anything to me. And big up to Cesc Fabregas for this. Genuinely, big up to Cesc Fabregas for saying this. Because there is too much emphasis on saying, oh, Odegaard presses well, he leads the line into the press, he runs quite a lot and all this stuff. But ultimately, it's not why we have purchased Odegaard, have we? At least in my eyes. In Mikel Arteta's eyes, it might be quite different, let's be real. But for me personally, he should be creating, he should be scoring, he should be assisting and all this stuff. And for the last year and a half, too, specifically, he hasn't done much, has he? He hasn't done much, has he? Big up, Rose. Make sure you're supporting. Big up. Yeah, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. We are this close, 2 subs away from 500. Odegaard's issue, he's in shooting range, final pass range, and does nothing but turn around. Exactly, he kind of is pointless in that regard. He doesn't pull the trigger when he needs to shoot, or he does it when it's, like, let's just say 2 seconds too late, or when he needs to pass, he takes 65,000 touches. By the time he should have made a pass, everything is gone. He has to pass backwards because he's been surrounded by 3-4 players, and only option for him is to pass backwards. And it's not a wonder that he has 95% pass accuracy or 90% pass accuracy even if he passes backwards. Big up, Hendon Gunnar. Hope you're doing well. Oh, happy to big up. Thank you. It was fantastic, to be honest. I feel like a train wreck at the moment after yesterday, I'm not gonna lie, but at the same time it was nice to see, you know. It was very nice to see. Yeah, no show guard. Martin, no show guard. Exactly. Big up Marlon as well, by the way. Big up Marlon in the chat. Now, this is the top delusion of AFTV. I had to show this because it really pissed me off when I saw it. Genuinely had to show this because it pissed me off. This is what they tweeted. Who stops this team from winning Premier League next season? This they tweeted out 10 months ago. Basically during last summer window. Williams, Havertz, Saka, Odegaard, Rice, Merino, Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba, White, Raya. This is what they tweeted out. I'm sorry. What? Nico Williams. Flavor of the month or of the season and the last summer. He had good Euros. There's no argument about that. For Bilbao, he's been mediocre. He got schooled as well by Manchester United. Personally, for me, since last summer when we got linked with him, I said I don't want him here. I kind of get the reasons why Arteta wants to get him, right? But at the same time, personally, he's not for me. I don't want him here whatsoever. 52 million release clauses, he wants 300-400 grand a week. For what? Seriously, he's like Martinelli 2.0. Genuinely the way I see it. Yes, he has better dribbling. Yes, he has better shooting. At the same time, he's like Martinelli 2.0. For me, it genuinely is not a signing. Who stops this team from winning Premier League? Everyone. Every freaking one. Come on, man. What are we doing here? Zubimendi is only verbal. Exactly. We're gonna talk about Zubimendi in a split second. I'll wait until the play. Exactly. Big up AFC. Big up AFC always. Hope you're doing well today. AFTV, Arteta Fangirl TV. Basically, for me, I don't really care who Arsenal sign as the sticking point is the manager. To be honest, true. If Arteta remains, the Arsenal will still fail across the line, and that for me is the biggest issue. On one hand, I am sitting here and thinking, we need to sign the best players so we can compete, to win stuff and everything. On the other hand, I'm sitting and looking at this and saying, I don't want Arteta getting any more money. I don't trust Arteta because it doesn't matter who we sign if Arteta basically boxes them in his imaginary role to play like a robot. Because he had one of the best informed strikers in the world, arguably, in Aubameyang. Golden Boot winning Aubameyang. He puts him at left wing and makes him play left wing back half the time. He made him Lacazette play as a number 6 because he needed to track back and everything. Like, nobody has improved per se under Mikel Arteta as well. People will say Bukayo Saka. His output has improved, yes, I agree to that, but his performances haven't improved. He's not doing the same things on the pitch he did 2-3 when Arteta just came in, even on and stuff like that. So I genuinely, for biggest issue is, even if Arteta gets the best players in the world, it genuinely doesn't matter to some extent, because unless he does something with them, like properly with them, it's genuinely a moot point. Nico Williams too from exactly stinks like Jorginho, exactly. Arteta will run this club into the ground. The issue with Arsenal in this regard, right? They wait till shit hits the fan. With Arsenal in these situations, they never look at the overall picture and see the problems and issues that lie before them. They deal with them when they arise, basically, and that is the biggest issue. Personally, for me, Wenger stayed 3-4 years too long, and stuff like that. We get rid of players 3-4 years too late. We always extend for a year, over 2 years. Oh, maybe he will come good. Oh, we need depth and stuff like that. We don't sell when we need to. We'll let the contracts run out and all this stuff. We genuinely don't do this properly. We could sign the best players in every position until this waste of space manager is still here. That for me is the biggest issue. Genuinely the biggest issue. He could sign Pele in his prime, and he would still make Pele track back and play CDM and press the front line and back line and everything and make blocks on the edge of his own box. Big up Hybrids Local Badger, big up. I think it's the first time I am seeing you here, by the way. First time, big up. Zubimendi is a smokescreen, bro. Don't give him dime. Why is Arteta not sacked? Exactly. That for me is why Arteta is not sacked. Obviously, I want Arteta out. Everyone knows this who watches my streams, right? At the same time, he's not going because, well, it's Arsenal. Like, let's be real. So, kind of have to make amends with that to some extent and just go from there. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to call this stuff out. And Zubimendi feels a bit weird. We're going to talk on Zubimendi in a second, but Zubimendi definitely feels a bit off. Let's just put it that way. He's the worst manager of all time. 6 years, no trophies, just excuses, jokes, memes. You realize Betis, Chelsea, Man U in front. Don't forget Spurs. You forgot Spurs, Marlon. Spurs also are in the final. Arsenal aren't because of Arteta. Exactly. Big up Hybrids Local Badger. Big up, big up, big up. No, we need the signings to expose Arteta. If we all have all the pieces, there's no... Exactly. That for me is the biggest thing. If Arsenal get the best players, Gyokeres, for example, get some insane left wing, like, I don't know, Lookman even, he gets at left wing, Zubimendi he might get, who knows, we're gonna spin Koken, as I said in a second. He gets his players he wants, right? What's the excuse then? Because I don't trust this manager to get us over the line even with those players. Seriously and honestly, I don't trust. And if he doesn't get over the line, then what's going to be excuse? Because I can guarantee you right now, the top Gunners will find an excuse for all of this, why it didn't happen. Because it's always the same things. Always moving goalposts, always finding what's best for them. To fit their agenda, as long as they are not proven wrong. It's like they care more about Arteta than they care about the club itself. At the end of the day. They care about individual names more than they care about the club itself. That is the biggest thing. Because in the beginning of this season, insane amounts of tough Gunners said, if Arteta doesn't win anything, he has to go. It's unacceptable for Arsenal to finish behind any other team besides Manchester City. And all this stuff. And if that happens, Arteta has to go. All of that has happened. Oh, but he had injuries, oh, red cards, oh, referees, oh, PJMOL, and all the excuses you can imagine in the world. 100%, if he gets the best players and he doesn't again perform, again it will be the same excuses. Something is gonna happen once again. Exactly. How is he not sacked? That is the biggest mystery of the world. Do not leave any room for silly... Exactly, do not leave. But let's be real, they will find a way to find a silly excuse. They will find a way. 100%. At some point, some way, they will find a way. That is the biggest issue. Yes. Big up AFC always. Smash the like, subscribe if you haven't already. Big up, big up, big up. 6 years, nothing. He doesn't do shit. The club memed. Exactly. And the worst part is, top Gunners eat it all up. They eat it all up, and they're happy with it. How this club has gone from winning trophies, winning the league. Yes, it was 22 years ago, but 21, 22 years ago, but still winning the league and all this stuff, winning FA Cups. So, well, top 4 is fine. Oh, we did this, it's fine. Oh, we did this, it's fine. Oh, but that's an excuse and all this stuff. How is this acceptable for third biggest club in the country and one of the biggest clubs in the world? How is that acceptable? It's utter embarrassment. Will be known as the trophyless club by the time this is done. Yeah. It's not by the time this is done. We're already known for that. Because we are in a position where Newcastle have won something already. Liverpool have won the league. United and Spurs are in the final of Europa League. Chelsea are in the final of Conference League. Like, what are we doing here? Seriously, what are we doing here? Every single team that is in like top 6, top 7, besides Nottingham Forest, have won stuff. City is in the final of FA Cup. They can still win the FA Cup. And Pep Guardiola says, even if we win FA Cup, it's an awful, shambolic, pathetic season because we are a million points behind Liverpool. What Arteta does, he comes out and says, well, look, Liverpool won the league on 82 points. If it was the previous 2 years, we would have won the 2 leagues. Like, what? Seriously, what are we doing here? The narcissism, the embarrassment of this manager, the things that he says about this club, it's insane. And the worst part is, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Big up views on sport. If you haven't already, go subscribe to this guy, top lad, top content, not a top gunner, so that's a plus, so go subscribe. Hit the likes, big up everyone. He signed for 3 years, he's not going anywhere, we just have to wait for him to be forced out. That is the worst part. Because if I get 15 million a year, and I can do the bare minimum to survive, I will do it. No argument about that. So at the end of the day, unless he gets sacked, he's not going anywhere. Like, we aren't. Big up Boy 10, big up. We are not a serious club. You need a bit more balance, be more balanced. I am balanced, because I give Mikel Arteta credit where credit is due. But let's be real, he has overstayed his welcome. 15 million a year, 750 million spent in the transfer market. And he genuinely has jack shit to show for it. At Arsenal, I understand if we were Brighton or someone like that, or Crystal Palace, but Arsenal, no thanks. The worst thing is that we could have happened was for Arteta to win the FA Cup right away, because suddenly all of the top Gunners can fix their heads to think we are better than the domestic cups. Yeah, like nothing else. Big up Aaron Talks Arsenal, by the way. He did the graph, he did the math. On average, it takes 2.5 seasons, or 2.4 seasons, whatever, something like that, for a Premier League coach to win the league, of the coaches that have won the league. On average, 2.5 seasons. Arteta has been here 5.5 years, and he hasn't won once. Once. He has 2 times he has overstayed his welcome. Let's be real. By the time Arteta is done, this club will be... There is a possibility that by the time Arteta leaves, we could be arguably in the worst position than we were when he came in. There is a big possibility of that. Because the wages are ginormous, and how we gonna fix that, God knows. We are not winning anything. At least before that, we won stuff. Like... It's insane. No cups, not even EFL Cup. We haven't won the Carabao Cup for 32 years. 32 years. My balance view for Arteta is that he is a good coach but a bad manager. And that a big part of the FA Cup win was the water breaks during the lockdown football. True, and Aubameyang. Because Arteta genuinely should be praising Aubameyang for the things he did. Emery had us in 5th, balling Europa. You know, I'm not Mikel's biggest fan, but to say he's done nothing... I'm not saying he's done nothing. I'm saying that it's not enough. I'm saying that it's nothing in comparative to what he has had, the things he has been given to, the keys to the rooms he has been given to. Genuinely. He has been genuinely given a key to Shangri-La to the maximum extent. We have given a kindergarten graduate keys to the top managerial job, arguably in one of the top in the world. We didn't look at possibilities to have someone with resumes and everything like that. We genuinely gave assistant from Man City who has never coached games in his life. One game he had coached as the manager, and it was for Man City in Champions League, and they lost to Lyon in that game. Only loss Man City suffered in the Champions League campaign in those 2 seasons at home. Only loss, and that eliminated them from Champions League. Like, what are we doing here? Never seen anything like this. Thank God I don't feel these prick owners to have employed this shit. With no credentials, no major honors, yeah, at the end of the day, you either win or you lose. That's at the end of the day, that is what it is. And trophies determine your success. Oh, but now all of a sudden, top Gunners, trophies are not the main metric, it's the league finish. Well, look at the league finish. 3 years ago, 5 points behind City, we were 8 points clear. So that's a 13-point drop. Last season, 2 points behind City. This year, 15 points behind, not City, but Liverpool, by the way. And it's not even given that we're gonna finish second this season. It's a massive, massive regression in terms of how we play, how we perform, and what we do. Oh, but he had injuries. Last year we had almost no injuries and we still couldn't get the job done. It's not an excuse. Yeah, top gunner bingo. Pretty much that's what it feels like. Wait, sorry? Emery was working with the Mess Wenger left. But I kid you not, if Wenger had given this time 5.5 years, 750 million, guarantee you he wins something. 100% he wins stuff. 100%. Like, on top of that, Arteta has the backing of the whole fan base. Emery had a selective group of the fan base. This is pretty much vice versa what we have right now to some extent. Insane, like 90% of Arsenal's fan base is Arteta in. Well, support Arteta, let's just put it that way. 10% want him gone. When Emery was here, it was other way around. Like 10% wanted him in, 90% wanted him out. We have basically done 180 on this. Brighton progress is impressive. Happy for them. They do the right things. Build a nice big squad aiming for consistent Europa. Brighton do it right. Yeah, and they haven't won anything as well. That's the most interesting part. They haven't won shit in their time. But they get an unknown manager to some extent, and they still are up there. They got the manager who promoted St. Pauli from Bundesliga 2 to Bundesliga this season, right? Last season, and now they got it this season, and they're still doing good. Like, how they do it, the recruitment for players, phenomenal. Manager recruitment, just as great as their talent scouting. Arteta got permission to redesign the whole building. He even got permission to relay the foundations. Now people want to tell us he needs more time when the cement is already set. Pretty much, yeah. Arteta, that's the worst part. Arteta is doing this. He's laying new foundations, building a house, basically, right? Without basically being an intern or basically having done 3 courses in construction, not even finishing it. Emery had the CV and failed horribly. Mikel has the best defense we've seen in the Emirates era. When he gets the striker he needs and still fails, then we can talk shit about him. Emery didn't fail horribly. Let's be real, he got us to Europa League final. Yes, he lost, but at least he got us to the Europa League final. Something Arteta couldn't do. He lost to Emery in the semi-final of the Europa League. We finished. Emery left, Arteta came in. We were 8 points from the Champions League. We were 7 points above relegation. We were not as in a bad shape as people want to paint the picture. Let's be real. As well. Emery didn't have support, didn't have backing or anything. He basically did best what he had to do with what he got. Because Emery wanted Fabinho, he got Torreira. He wanted Zaha, he got Pepe. He didn't get everything he wants. Arteta basically says, I want this, I want this, I want this. And he actually gets it. Massive difference. And don't act like big reason why we have this best defense is Unai Emery. Because Saliba, one of the main guys we have in defense, is Emery's signing. Martinelli is Emery's signing. Emery promoted Saka. Emery promoted Emil Smith-Rowe. Reason why we won the FA Cup is because Wenger signed Aubameyang. Emery made him who he is to some extent. Golden Boot winning Aubameyang and Lacazette. Arteta can't beat Villa, Fulham, Bournemouth, West Ham, and bro can't even win one cup. And even Man U in the banger era right now win trophies. We haven't won. Man United are in the 4th final in 3 years. That's all it is. Big up Martin Sofa. Big up views as well. The problem with Wenger and the 700 is they probably wouldn't have spent it anyway. At least would have paid the stadium off. Gyokeres, big up Ollie Watkins. Ollie Watkins with United picture. Oh my god. Some things that wasn't on my bingo card today. Let's just put it that way. Maybe. I'm United fan, guys. You guys are getting it. I hope so. I genuinely hope we are getting Gyokeres. The issue with this is, it's not still concrete. We are interested from news from Portugal are coming, by the way. If I can find this on the spot. Gyokeres. Here it is. Other clubs in the Premier League believe Arsenal will win the race for sporting striker Gyokeres. And a report from Portugal are coming out. That Arsenal have submitted their first official offer worth of 75 million euros for the Gyokeres. Arsenal have already agreed personal terms with the player. This is all mumbling, rumbling. This is all a smokescreen for now. The biggest thing is, Gyokeres wants Champions League football, which Arsenal basically can guarantee him that. The issue with this is, though, if you, Manchester United, win the Europa League, you are getting into Champions League. Yes, you are a mess, but you're still Manchester United. You still have the pool. You can pay the money, whatever you need, to some extent. Let's just say it as it is. You will have a massive overhaul, and I would, let's just say it. Gyokeres much rather would play under Amorim than to some extent under Mikel Arteta, because one guy he knows and has coached him. The other guy, i.e. Mikel Arteta, has never coached a striker properly in his life. He hasn't signed a striker in his life, and I'm not too sure he knows how to coach a striker. And that is a big issue with me. Bro has the same shit formation tag. It's like, it's plan A, and if that doesn't work, well, we just winging it to some extent. It's Saka and Inshallah. And half the time, I'm not even sure what the plan A is. But give Papa Wings 400 and he's probably winning a trophy. 100%. Imagine Saka, Martinelli and these guys under Wenger. Imagine. We would see completely different Bukayo Saka. We would see proper rotations. 100% we would win stuff. As United fan, Arteta should leave Arsenal. He didn't win. Exactly. Big up to you. Big up to United fan saying this. United fan is saying this. Like, that is actually kind of insane. Because the most United fans I know, they want Arteta to stay because it's nice banter for them, let's be real. But Arteta has won nothing, has wasted money and everything. Signing left backs and defenders, goalkeepers only. Midfielders, no attackers. Has won nothing, and his interviews are genuinely a joke these days. Like, that's actually insane. And this is coming, as I said, from a United fan who wanted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out, who finished second in the league. They wanted Ten Hag out, by the way, who won 2 trophies in 2 years. Like, insane. And why the fuck do we even... Well, to be honest, we kind of need Zubimendi to some extent, I'm not gonna lie. Zubimendi, I think, is kind of a mix between Jorginho and Partey to some extent. I see Zubimendi more as a Jorginho replacement than actually Thomas Partey replacement. Because in my eyes, Zubimendi has more more on more of a Jorginho in him than Partey, because the strength on that aspect is genuinely curtains in that regard. And the biggest issue is with this saying, Zubimendi to Arsenal is a here we go. Arsenal will trigger, only will, they haven't done it yet, they only will, by the way, 51 million pound release clause. Zubimendi has verbally, only verbally, agreed to sign long-term deal in North London. So at the end of the day, nothing has been done. Like, if we're talking materialistically. Because Arsenal only will trigger the release clause, and it's a verbal agreement. Who says they won't go against it? Who says Zubimendi won't go against it? Who says that all of a sudden Real Madrid don't come in for him? Because they can drop the money. Like, that is the big thing. Zubimendi might be coming to Arsenal, and when he holds up an Arsenal shirt, okay, cool, that's done. But currently, it is just like February. After a useless January window where we did fuck all, let's be real, then all of a sudden, Kai Havertz gets injured, by the way, as well, instantly after during the Dubai trip. All of a sudden, Arsenal are signing Zubimendi in summer. Who cares about the summer? We were in January. We were still in the race. We were still in the cups. We need to win those things. And all of a sudden, it's now all this. It's the same thing as it was during February, March. Like, only thing is, then it was only Sam Mogbel, Ben Jacobs, Kappa Watts, and all these guys. Now it's actually Fabrizio Romano and someone bigger saying this. Yeah. He's not an Arteta fan, 100%. He's not an Arteta fan. We have Rice, Party, Merino, Lokonga on loan. Dude, Lokonga is out with another hamstring injury. He's been at Sevilla this season. He has missed 16 games, and he has had 4 hamstring injuries. In 2 years, Sambi Lokonga has had 6 hamstring injuries. We paid 17.5 million for him. The next Yaya Toure, as it got described to us by, who was it, Company? I think it was. We completely got screwed over. How we gonna sell him, I have no idea. Mikel has a second, not outside the top 4. Yeah, but we were in top 4 with Arsene Wenger. He actually won some FA Cups, and you still wanted him gone. I'm not gonna lie, I wanted him gone as well, because for me personally, getting top 4 consistently and top 4 is like a trophy. That bullshit doesn't fly with me. Well, we all can't deny his input in terms of mentality. The issue is mentality at this club, from fans and also to the team. Because when it comes to the crunch time, when we need the players to perform the most, the mental aspect is the biggest issue, because they cannot get it over the line. I'm not throwing his work in the bin. He has done some very good things. But it's very hard to do something good over time. But it's very, very easy. It takes seconds to ruin it. And Mikel Arteta is doing that at a very, very worrying rate. Let's just put it that way. Emery had to try to make it work with the defensive unit of Mustafi and Socrates and a midfield of Torreira, Ozil and Guendouzi. Emery is getting judged when the team he picked up was wildly dysfunctional. Exactly. And to be honest, I would take Guendouzi at Arsenal right now. He's a very good player. I'm not gonna lie. I would take him at Arsenal right now. There are links that he might go to Villa as well. Please, Emery at this level, Aston Villa is his level. He has no business. No, that is true. But I'm just saying that if he had given 750 million, he would have won us some FA Cups or something. It wouldn't be this. That coach developed team. Yeah, I don't want Emery at Arsenal as well. But we can't pretend that he wouldn't have come back with a trophy having been given 750 million in 5 years. Exactly. The things he did at Sevilla, winning Europa League 3 times in a row with almost what it feels like no budget at all. It's insane. What he did with Villarreal as well. Villarreal have no budget pretty much, to some extent. Yet, he eliminated us in semi-finals. He beat Manchester United at the final. Then he got into Champions League, where he was half an hour away from eliminating Liverpool in semi-finals of Champions League. Like, he knows how to do these things. He knows. He is a cup coach, let's be real. The league might be too tough for him, but in cups he actually knows to some extent what to do. Yes, it might not always pan out, but he actually is a very good manager. just because to some extent Arsenal fan base are very biased towards Mikel Arteta, they very discredit what Emery has done, right? And that's why it also maybe from their point of view sounds like I'm giving Emery too much credit, but let's be real, I am not. We want not be the same meme club. I would take the washed Emery. See, Marlon wants Emery. He knows that will turn. Why would you employ a failure, a captain to never won a league, not an Arsenal legend? He is so shit that he was not chosen for Spanish international. I never wanted this loser. I wanted Conte back then. Yeah, remember we could have signed Conte. We didn't. We could have signed Mahrez. We didn't. We were in for Vardy. We didn't. We could Fabinho, of course. We didn't. We could have signed some very insane players, and look at what those players have done. Let's be real, over the years. Conte has won pretty much everything you can imagine. Mahrez has done the same. He just won the Asia Cup, the Asian Champions League. What else? Who else I name? Fabinho has won everything as well with Liverpool. Vardy as well has won Premier League, FA Cups, everything with Leicester. Won the FA Cup with Leicester, was it 3-4 years ago? Rivals are not discrediting him. Rivals actually want him to stay, and that's the nuts part. Saka under Wenger would cook, yeah. Emery failed here, that's all there is to it. Yeah, true. To some extent, yeah. But also the fact that fanbase generally turned on him and the what's-its-face owners didn't like that. Because as long as you have the back support from the fanbase, you are all golden and toasty. That goes with manager, that goes with players and everyone else. As soon as the fanbase turns on you, pretty much your days are numbered at the end of the day. Big up Kisambira, big up. The earlier the better, we should go for Gyokeres very first. Yeah, to be honest, yeah. Because the longer Gyokeres stays on market, the bigger are the chances someone else will come in for him. It's simple logic. Big up Mesut Ozil, damn, the pencil troll. Big up pencil troll. Big up views as well. Thanks for dropping by. Probably done deal, yeah. What's wrong with Lokonga, man? Returning is injured. He is injured. He's done at Arsenal and in general. He will be sold, hopefully at least. Big up. Let's offload Kai Havertz, Jesus, Martinelli, Vieira, Kivior, I assume. Lokonga, Trossard, and we get Gyokeres, and I assume that's Nico Williams, Sesko. I don't want Sesko or Nico Williams. That's also not, in that regard. That's also insane. But I get your point. We need to unload a lot of Dross players. Genuinely. Big up AFC always. Oh, we have really. Really, we have. Big up to everyone who has subscribed. 500 subscribers, insane. Big up. Road to 1k begins right here, I guess. Road to 1k, gang, begins right here. Big up to everyone who subscribes, who likes, who comments. If you haven't already as well, subscribe and like the stream. Whoa. Believe it or not, Kai is a flop striker who can give us more than 15 goals. He isn't. To be honest, Kai Havertz isn't even a striker by default. He's like a floating number 10, something like that. Secondary striker in between those roles. Because he, like, yes, at Bayer Leverkusen, he technically, by default, counted as a striker, but he never played as an out-and-out striker. Also for Chelsea, he's one of those players who can play somewhat decently in multiple positions, but he, like per se, doesn't excel in one, which is kind of great on one point and very detrimental to him at the same time. And I think that is one of the biggest reasons. Well, Emery is here and he hasn't done anything. He's got dumped out of his cups like everyone else. Like everyone does dropped us out of the cups. Big up, no. Latvian League Gunner, dude. Damn, Latvian League Gunner. That's the biggest compliment I have received, I would say, in the last 5 years. To some extent. Because Lee is massive. Lee is a massive Arsenal fan. No argument about that. Unpopular opinion, but first time I watched you, I thought you were a League Gunner. What? Unpopular opinion, he says. And what? What? Wait, let me try this. I don't know. I don't have a beer, unfortunately, but hey. I thought I had already subscribed, seeing as I'm here so often nowadays. Found out on your show that wasn't. That is when Rosie sent the link to the channels. Damn! Big up for subscribing, by the way. Big up, my guy. Big up, boy, 10. Big up, big up, big up. Anyways, some other news, because we have spent time talking about Gyokeres and all this stuff. We'll still need to leave the comical lessons. Anyways, team news and tickets. Everyone knows this guy. Still waiting for the mystery German, by the way. Looking at Juan Garcia, it's a bit of a difference at the club. That's a good thing. Arteta loves him, however, Berta doesn't believe it's a good use of funds. Hey yo, if we didn't have Berta, we actually might have signed the Juan Garcia, you know? If they have to manage spending. It's not that Berta doesn't rate him, he just wants to allocate those funds elsewhere. I'm not gonna lie, big up to Andrea Berta, saving us about, what, 25 million, something like that, so we can buy someone useful. In other news, Marseille are interested in Jakub Kivior. That's kind of interesting. Arsenal are not signing Isak, of course. That's kind of nice. Sesko is... By the way, for all the Sesko fanboys, Sesko is still in the mix. That is going well, isn't it? According to Peter O'Rourke, no idea who that is, but let's roll with it. Arsenal are in advanced talks with Leandro Trossard over a new long-term deal to keep him at the Emirates. Trossard is due to enter the final year of his contract at this summer, and the club are keen to sort out his future with a new deal. What? I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? Arteta finally make angry with the trophy. In the last 5 years, Emery and Arteta have the same trophy record. Yeah, true, that is actually true. To be honest, at the same time, there is less expectations at Aston Villa than there is to Arsenal, to some extent. Harry Kane, yeah, Harry Kane lifted today his first trophy in his lifetime. Big up to him. First trophy. Talk Berta, tell him Berta, enough of these second choice goalkeepers. To be honest, if we signed the Juan Garcia, it would be another Ramsdale situation. It would be two potential number one goalkeepers battling it all out, and one would get the boot at some point. 100%. It would be another in those terms toxic situation to some extent. I kind of get the feeling of that. Big Kiwi is ours. Team news tickets. Yeah. I don't know. I'm still waiting for the mystery German from last summer and everyone. Please, God, take Trossard away from the Emirates Stadium, dude. Like, Trossard might be staying. Like, what the hell is this? We almost sold him to Saudi last summer, and September, sorry, and now he's staying at Arsenal. Like, the issue with Trossard is he actually is somewhat decent rotational player, right? Not a star, 100% not a star. But even when you sub him on, you never know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get Stella Trossard who plays like he's a drunk kid, or you're gonna get the balling Trossard which we saw when we just signed him. You genuinely never gonna know. It's like a coin flip. And it's really annoying in that regard. Because he might be insane when you need him the most, or he might be even worse than you can imagine. We have like 5, 6 goalkeepers already though. We have Raya, we have Neto on loan, he's leaving, so that doesn't count. Hein is coming back from loan. He's injured, by the way, at the moment. If I'm not mistaken still. We have like 3-4 goalkeepers in under 21s. Like, I genuinely joke not when I say that under Mikel Arteta we have signed 10 goalkeepers. He's been here 5.5 years, let's just say 5, right? And we have signed 10 goalkeepers, so on average, 2 goalkeepers a year. Like, that seems quite the nuts for me. I agree, Zubimendi is a younger Jorginho. I'm just worried about the physical aspect of him. That for me is the biggest worry. Because if he is the number 6, right? The main number 6, our midfield just got much, much weaker. And even with parts in the team, our midfield already gets overrun by the teams that play very physical football or have very physical midfield in general. That is a big worry. And also, Zubi is a deflection from the sack. Arteta make it make sense. The fan base all fell for it again. Easy to... Yeah, it's easy. It is very, very easy. Arsenal are in a bad situation. push out some PR, new merch, something, everyone's again happy. Just take your mind off the dross and the bad things that are happening. I rather remain with Trossard than Martinelli, because there is time when Martinelli ideas are over. Martinelli, that's a complete different discussion. Completely different discussion. Martinelli, I'm not gonna lie, for me the biggest issue with Martinelli is, I wouldn't say that just like he's a speedboat without a driver, just driving straight forwards, runs the ball out of play and all this stuff, cannot score everything, but as soon as he leaves, right, he's gonna ball anywhere where he goes. Because that manager will know how to use him. In 22-23 season, right, we saw the blueprint, how we must play to maximize Martinelli's potential, right? He got injured in the most unfortunate time to some extent. Arteta changed the tactics at the same time to complete control, to complete defensive crap and all this jazz, right, we're playing right now. And it has completely annihilated any momentum and any chances of Martinelli to express himself. So, I kind of get, and I realize that I'm not on Martinelli's case, but that's mostly because I know what he has done before, and I want him to get back to that level. And it's partially injury. But mostly it's the Mikel Arteta, what he has done. Martinelli is not a touchline winger. He's never gonna be one. And nobody in our squad doesn't have 10 league goals. No, top goal scorer in our teams, as it stands right now, is Havertz, 9 goals in 21 games in Premier League. Then there is Trossard with 8 in 35 games. And the third one is Martinelli with 7 goals in 31 games in Premier League. Those are our top 3 goal scorers, by the way. And then there are 3 I think on 6 goals. It includes Saka and someone else. I don't mind signing Zubimendi. I don't as well. But it's not enough. It's not enough. What I don't want is for Zubimendi thing to become a 6-month storyline that rambles on until the season has already started. Signing quick another. Yeah, that for me is one of the biggest issues with Arsenal. We are linked with the player. We signed Calafiori a month and a half. We signed Merino for a month. Like, either you sign him or you don't at the end of the day. It shows how bang average our attack is, our defender and the attack. Yeah, it is. Like, seriously. There's no argument about that. Saka was carrying this attack, was feeding everyone's goals with assists. Yeah, Saka was top assister when he got injured, right? Like double-digit assists, like 12, 13. He got injured, had a surgery, came back, and nobody got near him still in the assist department by that time. That just shows everything. Zubimendi is a warrior and interceptions machine. He's ready to rock and roll. We heard that he's a warrior and an interceptions machine sounds very like Mikel Merino, doesn't it? And we have seen how that has gone. He is better at striker than he's in the midfield. I'm more interested in Zubimendi's passing. Because I don't think Zubimendi is here for defensive efforts more than actually more creative parts in the midfield, because the creative aspect of the team from the midfield, specifically of the 8 and 6 positions, if Partey is out, it's very, very, very visible how awful it is. That's why clubs employ PR and marketing teams. Exactly. Spot on. Arteta ball has ruined Martinelli and Trossard amongst others. Yeah. Because we all don't want Odegaard here at the moment. Not all. Let's just say a big part of Arsenal's fan base are on Odegaard's case. They want him gone. Yet 3 seasons ago, we saw that Odegaard scored double-digit goals, double-digit assists, and all this stuff. So it's somewhat same situation as with Martinelli. We saw the blueprint, how we should play, how players should interchange with themselves to make chances, to make key passes, to make proper runs, to have direct balls and everything, to score goals. And now that Arteta has changed the system, twice already by the way, it has completely ruined all these attacking players we have had. Saka is just getting GA just because Saka can do it. He has the ability to do so. Saka's performances have been bang average, mostly. But he has that skill, that ability to get that GA. So it doesn't look as bad to get us over the line. He still does it. And Arteta says, oh, you need 2 years to adjust to the system and all this stuff. Then how comes he's changing it every single goddamn season? El Clasico will be fired tomorrow. A lot of players are not playing. That for me is a big thing for as well. Who's gonna win the El Clasico? Hard to put it against Barcelona. Although Real Madrid on the remontada is back again, all that jazz, so who knows. But I'm going with Barcelona just because Barcelona has easily had Real Madrid's number 10 times out, pretty much every single time. Let Martinelli go and ball out for another manager. He's not built for this possession game Arteta wants to do, and Arsenal aren't going to stop possession ball in hurry without Arteta. Exactly. And that for me is the biggest thing. Because if we sacked Arteta, right? And let's just say we get Inzaghi, for example. Martinelli balls out instantly. I would argue Tierney stays at Arsenal. Because Tierney is arguably one of the most perfect left wing backs you can get for Inzaghi's system. Calafiori as well for me. He's not a left back. We haven't tested enough him out at left center back as well. For me personally, he's more of a left wing back or a left center back. I need to test him out. Like if we played, let's just say 5 at the back and we need a left wing back, Calafiori and Tierney would be immaculate for that. But as a left back alone, for example, Calafiori doesn't work. It's very, very annoying that we have players that actually can do good. It's just the fact that the manager doesn't want to do so. Because for me, the way I see this, the manager and the coach should be the thing that he builds the system for the player to be the best he can be. Elevate his strengths, hide his weaknesses by elevating other players' strengths. And to be honest, he has done it to a certain extent, arguably, but it has come at a price that he has utterly ruined certain players. Martinelli is a proper striker, not a left wing forward. He won't grow with Mikel Arteta. Yeah, we haven't tried him as a striker as well on consistent basis, arguably. Arteta just sacked this clown Tete. You seem already pissed off with his bullshit. Maybe they are just giving him the signing, so give him just enough rope, so that at some point he just basically falls flat on his ass and he has to go. I don't know. Quite possibly this could be the La Liga title decider. Maybe. Havertz is still our top goal scorer. Yeah, that is the biggest thing. Oh, dude, when Trossard sent him back, that is actually nuts. That was a nuts one. Cooked by Zagze. Martinelli has reached his peak with us. I hate that he can't pull off skills and tricks frequently. A simple step forward would elevate his game so much. Yeah, that's also a big thing. Martinelli is Brazilian. He's been here for 6 years. Yet at the same time, he hasn't learned how to dribble. He doesn't know how to basically take on opponents. Sometimes besides throwing the ball past defender and trying to outpace him, he plays with his head on all the time. There are very key aspects of the game that every player should know or learn over time. And he just hasn't or doesn't. I don't know. If Bert and Arteta want Mateta, then sign him quick. I don't really care who they want, just the business and conduct it quickly. Exactly. To some extent, I want the best players, right? But if you want the best players, get the job done quickly. Because the longer they stay on market, the bigger chances we are not going to get him. I would take Pavlidis, Retegui, or Mikal Tzadze. Personally, I would sign Gyokeres and then sign, for example, Jonathan David on a free as a backup. That would be my ideal scenario, arguably. Or Delap for 30 million as a backup. If we sign Zubimendi and keep Partey, there's a world where the midfield is Zubimendi, Partey, and Rice. That sounds like a Wenger midfield, doesn't it? Because Wenger many times didn't play with a number 10 or a number 8. He just threw 3 8s out there, 3 number 8s. One was more defensive, one was more creative, right? And the third one was a bit of a box-to-box, bit of both to some extent. But that midfield doesn't have as much creativity as, again, Rodrigo, Due, Barkla for left wing, potentially. I hate Goldsguard, bro. I never wanted this Real Madrid failure. I get that. Yeah, Real Madrid failed wonder, kid. I don't hate any of the players. I blame Arteta for bringing them to the club. It's all down... Yeah, to be honest, all is down to the players. And the fact that to some extent we are also paying the price for players not having a backbone, right? And stepping up for what they believe in. Because pretty much every single of these guys are yes men, right? And at some point, players should have enough realization, enough ego to stand up to Mikel Arteta and say, this is not working. You must change. You must adapt. You must do something. And they're never gonna do that. Not even our captain. El Clasico, no one defends. So high score game. Well, could be. I think so. Calafiori is a left center back and 3 at the back, or 5 at the back, or as a left wing back could actually work. But we are not gonna play that. Big up Samuel. Big up. One thing Arsenal must do to sign a point in number 9. Yeah, definitely designated high-end number 9 that can finish chances. Yeah, big up hand. In fact, the problem is Arteta is at the end of the day. Give Odegaard pace in behind and we see a different player. Marino and Havertz can't show the best on his game. To be honest, the system must change. The system must be reverted to some extent back to what it was 2 years ago when we were playing attacking football. Because Arteta has gone from one end of the spectrum to the other. He genuinely hasn't found a middle ground, and he needs to find a middle ground. Just like with midfield, it's very unbalanced, and he's struggling to find it. I said back when Odegaard, Jota. Imagine 5-4-1 with Gabriel, Saliba, Hato, Skelly, Timber, Nelly, Saka. Maybe Cunha and Buemo to United. Oh, bloody hell. Marcelli needs to play inside, doesn't have power, speed for left. Not anymore. Those injuries have definitely somehow halted his progress or stuttered him. And as a striker, he actually could be very good, but we are never going to play him there, though, would we? Gyokeres, Mitsoma, Hato, Zubimendi, do it. Yeah, he has to do something. I don't like 10s personally. I just like 2 CMs and DM. I totally get that. I kind of also am a big believer of the fact that there are specific periods of time in football that certain positions kind of die out, they disappear, and at some point they come back, right? And the number 10 is currently one of those positions because you don't see out and out number 10s anymore. You know, like your Ozils, like Odegaards, Riquelmes, and players like that. George Hadjis. You don't see them like that. You have players that can basically cover 3 positions or they can do everything. And it's like a mix of some multiple positions. That can agree, social trends. There aren't really any 10. Exactly. Arguably, but he also kind of drops into 8, plays as a deep end, so I guess it is what it is. Anyways, let's do the starting 11 quickly for the Liverpool game. Because this game, to be honest, doesn't matter almost at all. Arsenal are gonna give the guard of honor to Liverpool, right? So it is what it is. Arsenal are gonna give the guard of honor to them. So at the end of the day, that means that it is what it is. This game kind of means nothing. Only it means in terms of Arsenal's points, right? The issue with all of this is, for me though, that Arteta will put out his best 11 for the sole reason that he wants to secure the 2nd place. Second of all, he will try to do his best to do so. Right? And Liverpool will be up for the game. They lost to Chelsea away. They will want to redeem themselves at Anfield, of course. Given Mikel Arteta's pathetic, embarrassing, laughable, clownish, and all these comments, right? In the media and everything about the points, about the league and all this stuff, they will want to pam us and destroy us. We haven't won in Liverpool for 12 years. 12 years. Right? This game, arguably, in the way this season should have gone, especially given if we signed properly, this arguably should have been the title decider if the league went as it should have gone. If we had proper manager, proper chances, and and we put them away and all this stuff, right? But it hasn't, obviously. So this game currently is basically a game of pride. And what I mean by that is the fact that Liverpool will want to get one over us to make a statement in general that they are the best team in the country and next season they're gonna go for it again. And Arsenal need to make a statement that they are not as bad as they've been the whole season. They are not the whipping boys. And at the same time, they need to basically show that they still have something in them. Plus, Arteta wants to secure the second place. Because City drew today, which means they are only 2 points behind us. Newcastle play tomorrow and also play Chelsea play tomorrow. So, if one of those teams wins and Arsenal lose, they will be only 1 point behind us. With 2 games to go, there will be everything to play for. So, there is lots of riding on this game in terms of Arsenal. For Liverpool, it's more of a pride thing. I'm just going to say it that way. They will definitely want to make a statement in general towards the end part of the season. So we'll see how this goes. But I'm not going to lie, I'm not looking too optimistic towards this game. Let's just put it that way. Because I don't expect us to win. I'm expecting a draw at best. Let's just put it that way. I'm generally expecting a draw at best. So let me know your predictions in the chat as well, just before we wrap this up. Sometime in the future there will be some young 10 that is so good at the 10 that he has to be played there, and then the 10, yeah, at some point it goes in cycles. It generally goes in cycles. Football in general goes in cycles. Play styles, formations, certain positions, they just go all in cycles, and at some point it will revert back to what it was. Then it again will go back to something else and all this stuff. It always is like that. It's Liverpool next. I had actually managed to forget. Good for you. Not tomorrow though. Yeah, this was supposed to be the title run-in. Was supposed to be, but hey. Swap, no show guard for me. Meanwhile, Dude, swap Odegaard for Maddison. The year we signed Odegaard, I wanted us to sign Maddison. And he went to Spurs, obviously. But at the same time, I wanted to sign Maddison instead of Odegaard. And people said I was dumb. Odegaard is 10 times better. And here we are. Obviously, the issue with Maddison is the injuries, which in Arsenal's teams is not that good. But hey, it is what it is. But at least he can score. He is good on free kicks, by the way. And everything. Arsenal can't start Odegaard. They will. They will. Genuinely, they will. The worst part is, the season is done. It doesn't matter what happens this season, we are getting Champions League football. The difference between second and fourth is about few points anyway. A few million anyways, right? So this would be the perfect opportunity to let Saka rest and heal his injury. Odegaard, rest, recover, go feed, breastfeed his child, give birth again, whatever the fuck he wants to do. Or go have a surgery if the rumors are true. And rest some of the players who have injuries. But he's not gonna do that. Arteta is such a egomaniac, narcissistic prick that he will want to somehow make a statement that he is, again, second, we were there, and all this stuff, right? So he is gonna play his best 11. Maddison would have actually relished the clashes against PSG. Oh yeah, personally I don't give a crap about this game, just as long as Arteta gets sacked I would be happy. Well, 5 years into process and we have a DM as our striker. Yeah, that's where we are, 5 years as a process. And we play a midfielder as a striker, which is Kai Havertz, and we play a number 6 as a striker, which is Merino. And in the 5-year process, we haven't signed a single striker. Meanwhile, on the bench, we have Butler Oyedeji, who has kicked the ball for about 10 minutes for Arsenal in his lifetime. A striker, by the way. We don't try Martinelli as a backup option or exploratory option as a striker, so... 3-0 Liverpool. Slot will want to prove a point for Arteta. Exactly, that is my point. I think Liverpool will want to prove a point, so Slot will want to prove a point. So my thought on this is that it's gonna be either a draw or Liverpool will just hammer us. One of the two. Yeah, sorry. Big up socials, and yeah, Odegaard will start. This team, man, they want to cuss us out for can't even find one strike. Exactly. True Hanengunan. Exactly. We can only hope. We can't wait for the news. Big up YouTube senses as well. Zubimendi is ours, and now Arsenal have officially made their first bid for Gyokeres. Arteta gets 1 more year. Next season is huge. Oh, don't do this. Because Arsenal haven't triggered the release clauses, it's only a verbal agreement. So at the end of the day, anything still can happen, anyone can still sign him, he can still do a U-turn. Gyokeres news comes from Portugal, it's not confirmed, so that you have to take with massive pinch of salt. And well, it is what it is. Obviously, Bert is a big fan of Gyokeres. If we sign him, great. But until he holds the shore up, or there is genuine, proper confirmation that they have signed, or the fee is paid and they're just discussing the final details, not getting it carried away. It would be the best news ever, yet alone support crap. Zubimendi is not ours yet. It's only a verbal agreement, which means nothing until money is paid and contract signed. Yeah, and that is the biggest thing. We might hear this a lot. It's agreed, it's a verbal agreement and all this stuff, so who knows? But yeah, tomorrow's Liverpool game, it's gonna start with pain, because we have to give the guard of honor. To be honest, Arteta should be doing that alone, not with players, because that should be a punishment for Arteta. But it is what it is. But yeah, seen a few guard of honors from Arsenal over time. Everyone hurts as much as the previous one. I'm not gonna lie. This one this actually hurts more. To be honest, but but it is what it is. It's gonna start with pain due to guard of honor. How it's gonna end, it's up to Arsenal. And unfortunately, I'm not too excited about this. Liverpool definitely will be up for it. They just lost to Chelsea, so they will have to make a point. Anfield is gonna be rocking because they have won the league. They will mock Arsenal fans who will go there. So have fun with that, of course. And yeah, they will make a point. Slot is gonna will want to get one over Mikel Arteta again, just to make a statement, prove a point, especially for next season, send a message, because Liverpool are gonna get stronger, so that's gonna be pain. So not too excited. I'm genuinely going for a draw. Like, this is my Arsenal saying in heart that we're gonna play a 2-2 draw. I'm going for a 2-2 draw. If you ask me to put a realistic prediction with my head, I'm saying 3-1 Liverpool. Real fans want this shit mid manager here, because now as long as he's here, we will get worse. And yeah, the media attention won't be as much on their clubs and everything. Yeah, they won against Fulham. Arsenal could never. All the top football news channels are reporting that Arsenal have made their first bid for Gyokeres. They are saying that, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm gonna wait until it's done. Well, it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. But yeah, I think on that note, we're gonna end the stream here. Not feeling great. I'm not gonna kind of old and sick in that regard. How old are you people? Did you start watching football in 2020? For hundreds of years, Guard of Honors have happened. Now it's the big deal because Arsenal do it after Chelsea. I'm not gonna get into that. Not gonna get into that. People have different opinions on this thing, but it is what it is. But yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna end it here. I'm not feeling too great, I'm not gonna lie. I'm coming down with something, it's pissing me off. Stupid weather outside, but it is what it is. So thank you guys so much for watching. Big up everyone who liked, who chatted. Big up socials, big up Marlon, YouTube censors, views, Rosie, Hendon Gooner, Boy10, big up Nathan, who also was here, Hybrid Locals, Badger, big up Jimmy Ojo, big up everyone. Thank you for 500 subscribers, on to 1k, let's go, on to 1k gang. Let's strive for greatness once again. So from there, see you all tomorrow after the game, and let's pray it's a positive outcome to some extent, because it's quite depressing being an Arsenal fan in recent days. So, in recent months, to be honest, in the whole season to some extent. So, we'll see how this goes. But for now, I'm gonna head out. See you all tomorrow. And try to enjoy football if you're still watching it. So, take care, stay safe, and see you very, very soon. Bless up, everyone.